This is Bernstein High School. It's where Melody Ramos and Heather Wheatley overdosed from fentanyl. How important is it for young people between the ages of 18 and 24 to vote?
The Biden administration has pushed for historic student debt relief.
2 months ago, there were 3 times the amount of tents on Skid Row than what you see now. Both Karen Bass and Rick Caruso attended USC, which may be the only thing that they have in common. Congo River is now dyed green.
School seniors and graduate students are gearing up to apply to colleges and universities.
Julie Shamash is living any mother's worst nightmare.
And the paramedic looks at me and says, I'm sorry, he didn't make it. And literally, it's like you see in the movies. Evidently, I started screaming.
Her son Tyler died of a fentanyl overdose while he was in a rehab facility. He was 19. He started smoking marijuana when he was 13 because he had anxiety and wanted to fit in.
He was self-medicating. Eventually, it becomes not enough.
Tyler was really good at fixing all kinds of machines. Now his mother is helping fix a deadly problem faced by parents of children struggling with drug addiction.
I think my personal biggest success is getting Tyler's Law passed.
Tyler's Law requires that all California hospitals screen for fentanyl whenever a urine drug test is ordered. This law went into effect at the beginning of this year.
Anna Shaposhnik has always wanted to fly weightless in zero-G. How does that work? You just have to understand Einstein's equivalence principle.
You are in a rocket and you are traveling up. You feel a force.
She has been trying to defy the law of gravity for a long time.
I had this childhood dream of floating on a broom like any kid does, right? And my first thought that came up to me when I was like, oh, I'm going on a zero-G flight. Why don't I make my own broom and just float on a broom? Like, wouldn't anyone want to do that?
And so she took it for a test drive.
California Attorney General Rob Bonta says he plans to investigate LA's redistricting process after the leak of racist comments. The pitch clock has already shortened games by an average of 30 minutes.
Gym can be an intimidating place, and a weight room full of guys grunting, slamming weights, and sweating over every bench doesn't help.
Propositions 26 and 27 would legalize sports betting in the state of California. Many voters are struggling to decide whether they should support the propositions or vote no for both. Here's what you need to know. Proposition 26 would allow in-person sports betting at racetracks and tribal casinos for people 21 years of age and older. Part of a 10% state tax would go towards education funding, gambling addiction programs, and enforcing gambling laws. Proposition 27 would allow online sports betting, meaning you could gamble directly from your phone. An issue is whether expanding gambling would worsen the addiction among youth and other vulnerable communities. Timothy Fong, director of UCLA's Gambling Studies program, says public health should be a priority. Los Angeles Lakers defeated the Memphis Grizzlies 117-111 in overtime last night to take a 3-1 series lead. LeBron James led the Lakers to victory with his first career 2020 line. James tied the game with a layup with 0.8 seconds left in regulation before scoring 4 more points in overtime. He finished with 22 points, 20 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 blocks, and just 1 turnover. LeBron's 2020 line made him the oldest player to achieve the stats since Wilt Chamberlain did in 1973. Austin Reeves added 23 points and D'Angelo Russell scored 3 straight three-pointers in the fourth. Desmond Bane led Memphis with 36 points.